The Holy Bible, the King James Version. The Book of Psalms, Psalm 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish.
Oh no, we got this problem again. All right, hey everyone, how are you? God bless. I'm about to do this live about Gnostic Informant, but basically, he said that it's not. I mean, this is not about a disagreement I had with Gnostic Informant, but it's that he said that I was a liar, or that I was lying, and that I was dishonest. So I just want to make that clear that that's absolutely not the case, and actually, he's the one who's being dishonest. Okay. So he makes some very strong claims, you know, and then he changes it when he gets pressed on it, and then he changes it back when he wants to make his claims again, you know. And he calls me dishonest for noticing that inconsistency in his statements, you know. That's what this is all about, really. Hey, what's up, Christian? Atypical. God bless, bro. All right, so let me say a prayer and then we'll get started. Heavenly Father, Almighty God, Father, may the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable unto you, O God, our rock and our redeemer. Father, I'm about to look at these clips from Gnostic Informant, and sometimes about me, and just discussing some of his claims about the Bible and about archaeology and ancient history. And we just ask for your wisdom and guidance, Father, so that we can present all these things in truth to glorify your name and glorify the name of your Holy Son, Jesus Christ. On him be glory forever and ever. Amen. All right. Let's go. So, okay, where are we at now? Yeah, let me just... first thing I want to show you. All right, so basically, once again, it's not about disagreements that I had with Gnostic Informant. That is just a side issue. It's about him making very strong claims about ancient history and about the Bible. And then when he gets pressed on it, he changes his claims. Then when I'm not in the picture again, he changes his claims back. And then he calls me dishonest for noticing this inconsistency. So that's my problem with this guy. So we're going to just talk about that. So let me just get my share screen up here. All right, so the first thing I wanted to show you is this part. So this is me. This is yesterday on Derek from Myth Vision and Gnostic Informant had like a stream together. They're talking about the Bible and stuff, and I called in, and this is what happened.
Sticking the script.
Cool.
We can hear you, Toronto. We can hear you. No, we're doing one at a time, man. We're doing one at a time. So
I'll be back. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So okay. So I don't know. I wanted to ask you about the Tyre prophecy, but I also wanted to ask you about the visitor list. I thought you would do your research and find out that that's not true, like by now.
No, it is true.
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay, hold on. No one knows what you're talking about.
No one knows what we're talking about, right? So what we're talking about is this claim he made before, and I'm going to show you that later, about the king list of the Egyptians. Like in ancient times, they would keep these king lists. All right. And so he's claiming that we have a complete king list of all the Egyptian pharaohs and their viziers. And the whole issue is that I said that he doesn't. And then he even admits that they're not complete and stuff. And then later he calls me dishonest for just noticing that, you know? So anyway, what's this?
No one knows what we're talking about. We have a list. We have lists, plural, of all the pharaohs from the first dynasty down to the last dynasty. And we have an almost complete list of who their vizier was.
No, we don't. That's
Yes, we do.
That's completely false. First of all, the list we have from ancient times, right? You're talking about the primary documents, right? The list we have from ancient times are incomplete. They're
I'm not saying they're complete. I'm not saying they're 100%.
I'm not saying they're complete. I'm not saying they're 100%. He's changing his statements in real time, you know? Anyway, sorry, I don't want to interrupt. They're incomplete. They're
I'm not saying they're complete. I'm not saying they're 100%.
Yeah, you
complete.
did say they're complete. You did say they're complete. That's my whole point.
There's a few, but they're mostly
and also
complete.
the viziers are definitely not complete. They're far from complete.
You want to see
They're
the
not
list?
Even close to complete.
You want to see the list?
Yes, I know. It's speculative, dude. It's very speculative.
It's not. You're theoretical. He's dishonest. Get him out of here. Look, you're dishonest. You're lying. He's lying. I can't talk to dishonest people. All right.
He just kicked me. He kicked me because he says I'm dishonest and I'm lying. All right. And then I just want to So first he said we have a list. We have lists, quote unquote lists, plural, and they're complete, and they're all from all the Egyptian pharaohs and almost all the viziers. Vizier is like this kind of second in command type of person for the pharaoh. We're not exactly sure about their roles. It's debatable as well. All right, but that was his claim. All right, we have a complete list of all the pharaohs. We have multiple lists apparently, and also we have most of the viziers. Right, that's what you just said. And then let me show you some other things that happened with this whole debate. So in this one, oh wait, I have to go back. Yeah.
Enjoyed the sidetrack.
Thank you. Joseph in the Old Testament was the vizier of the entire Egyptian kingdom, the second highest, most powerful person in the entire Egyptian kingdom. Well, guess what we have from Egypt? Even to this day, we have all the records of all the pharaohs and their viziers. None of them mention any Joseph. We don't know. Joseph doesn't.
See what he's saying now. What he's saying that we have all the records of all the pharaohs and their viziers, and he's using that to say, okay, none of them mention Joseph. Therefore, Joseph from the Bible, Genesis chapter 38 to 50 or whatever. He says that means that Joseph is fiction. That's his claim. So he's doing this. He says he's debating Jay Dyer and Breakfast Tacos is reviewing it. And he's here. He's actually on Breakfast Tacos while they review it right now, okay? So what he's saying is that they have a complete list. All the pharaohs, all the viziers, and then because they don't mention Joseph, that means Joseph is just a myth, all right? Let's see this again.
Doesn't exist. It's what we have from Egypt. Even to this day, we have all the records of all the pharaohs and their viziers. None of them mention any Joseph. We don't know. Joseph doesn't exist. He's made up. In fact, the name Yosef probably is some sort of derivative from Osiris. Some scholars point out some sort of euhemerization of Osiris.
How likely is it that they would have evidence of a random person back then?
Very. We have a whole list of all the viziers and all the pharaohs in succession.
Gotcha.
So if he really was the vizier, we should have him. That's what it says. It says he's the second most powerful. Maybe he wasn't. So
it'd be like inscriptions.
There's a chance he could have slipped out somehow, I guess. But like,
see how strong his claim is. We have a list of all the pharaohs, all the viziers. There's a chance he might have slipped out somehow. But on just now when I showed you the video from the other day or yesterday, he was like, "Oh, I'm not saying it's complete." And then that's what I had to say. I was like, dude, the whole reason, my whole point is that you said it was complete. And that's what my whole point is. That's my whole opposition to your claim, you know? But that's why he walked it back. He walked it back to, oh, it's not complete. It's not complete, but but if it's not complete, then it doesn't tell us whether Joseph was one of the viziers or not. If it was complete and every single one was given, then okay. If Joseph isn't mentioned, then that means Joseph's a myth. But it's not complete. It's far from complete. And now he's walking it back. Well, now he's still trying to in this debate with Jay Dyer. He said it was complete, and then now on Breakfast Taco, he's kind of waffling a little bit, you know.
That's what it says. It says he's the second most powerful. Maybe he wasn't. So
would
I
it
don't
be
know.
like inscriptions?
There's a chance he could have slipped out somehow, I guess. But like, I mean,
Right.
the Bible says he's the second most powerful. It says you are. If anyone needs to go to me, they got to go through you. That's what Pharaoh says to Joseph. But the Pharaoh's unnamed, so we can't find where this Joseph is because it's an unnamed Pharaoh. But some scholars have told me this is actually common. This happens in Phoenician text where the king of Phoenicia is unnamed because it's not a real king of Phoenicia. It's a generic king of Phoenicia. So this is a generic Pharaoh. This is something that happens quite often in some of these texts.
Gotcha. And so TBS is in the back saying we do not have all the pharaohs and advisors listed.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. Okay.
Yeah, we have all the pharaohs.
And we're certain of that. Like we know the timelines on them all and everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We're pretty good on which pharaoh, all the pharaohs, the dynasties, all the way up until the Persian period.
There's no missing links like in evolution, right?
I mean, with the viziers, there might be some questions on who they are, which because
see how he changes from we have a complete list. That was what he said in the debate. And even on Breakfast Taco, when he first was asked about it, that's what he said. Now he's like waffling, like, well, maybe there's some things that are missing. Maybe the viziers, we don't know all the. Well, if you don't know all the viziers, then you don't know whether Joseph was one of the viziers. Clearly, he might have been one of those people that's missing from the list, right? Absolutely ridiculous. But anyway,
what is a vizier? Maybe is it really like a solid position? People will say, maybe not. Maybe there's a chance Joseph squeezed in and out of the list somehow. I don't know. I'm just trying to be as fair as possible here. But the Pharaoh, that's pretty solid. Like we could tell who the Pharaoh was at any given time. Pretty much.
See now it's still pretty solid, right? But he's basically trying to say that they know the Pharaohs. They know all the Pharaohs at every single time in Egyptian history. Like this is just it's like anyone who knows anything about that period or any Egyptologist, any Egyptologist of the period knows that is not true. Okay, they absolutely know that. It's just a known fact. It's obviously a known fact that they do not know that. Okay, we'll discuss that later. But what I want to, the thing is that he made this very strong claim in order to put down the Bible, right? But now he's kind of walking it back, but kind of still making it strong again. So that's what he's trying to do. Trying to go back and forth. He's bluffing, or he's kind of like, or whatever. But he's not being careful. He's not being scholarly. He's being like an amateur, like an internet scholarship, basically, So that's my point here. That's why I'm bringing this up. The original claim was that he knew all the pharaohs and all their viziers. Now he's saying that, based on the fact that we know all the pharaohs and all the viziers, therefore Joseph was a myth, right? Now he's saying, well, maybe it's possible Joseph wasn't in there, or maybe we don't know for sure. We don't know all of them, And even when he was talking to me, he was like, "Oh, taking it back," And just to show you that, I'm not just ambushing him on because when I went on I called into Derek's show or the stream they had yesterday because I'm not just like randomly ambushing because this guy said he was going to debate me. And that's why I emailed him and everything. Hold on, let me just show you this. He said he was going to debate me, dude. This guy.
About the fucking list.
Yo, you want to debate me? You want to debate me, bro? You want to debate me?
All right. So I'm sure you
yes,
can.
I do.
I'm sure you can go on GnosticInformant's YouTube and leave a comment or something saying, "Hey, this is my email. If you want to talk about this." Gnostic does all sorts of debates and stuff. I'm sure he would sit down with you or whatever. Maybe not. I don't know. I really don't know what his time looks like. But I'm sure leaving a comment is probably the best way to move forwards on that topic, especially since we're doing a debate review.
Yeah, let's do it, bro. I'll debate you on any of these.
I'm not speaking for him. I'm just saying that's a good starting point.
Set it up later.
That's a good starting point, right? Like when you want to reach out to somebody.
Let's set up later. Yeah, email me. Like you just like treat me like I'm just like nothing, like I'm garbage, Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, email me, bro.
I would go for something like that. I would honestly start on their comments or an email, right, and then move forwards from there.
No, seriously, you can find my email on my YouTube channel. So if you want to send me one, I'll respond.
And if you guys
you can find my email on my YouTube channel, and if you send me one, I'll respond. I sent him an email. He did not respond. That's one of the reasons why I called into Derek. Not the entire thing, but that's one of the reasons. You know. But that's how this guy is. So he publicly told me to email him, and he would respond, right? And so just to be clear, what happened later was not some randomly me harassing him out of nowhere. He invited me to follow up with him on this topic of the Egyptian king lists. And I followed up with him by email, right? Which is what he asked me to do. He did not respond to me. Then he went on Derek's show and started talking more smack about the Bible. And then I had to come on and just bring this up again, you know? So he invited the follow-up publicly. I followed up. And that's all this point is for, you know, basically. Okay. But let's look a little bit more about this on Breakfast Tacos, what he was saying. Yeah. Okay. So
I think I made up a version of that word, and welcome back.
Okay. So where can I find this list of all the pharaohs and all the viziers, which is completely mythical?
No, it's not. I'll show you right now.
Okay, show it to me.
Manetho and Berosus have the list. That's our ancient list we have. So that's the base model. But look, I mean, I could just pull up Wikipedia right now.
It doesn't include every single one. Look, see what he said? He's like, I'm like, okay, yeah, show me the list. He's like, oh yeah, Manetho, Berosus, I have it here, the ancient list. I have it here in my thing. Well, let me just pull up Wikipedia. He literally goes to Wikipedia, dude.
Here, ready? Viziers of the early dynastic period. I'm sharing my screen right now.
And somebody called me out on it. Somebody called me out on it. I did realize it. Yes, I meant to say rigor, not rigorousness. I don't know what I was thinking there. I was trying to think of the proper word when I was talking. My bad. I messed up too. My apologies. I corrected myself.
Yeah. Wait. What is
Got him, Gretchen.
Hold on a second.
Hell, Taco, you're not perfect.
Is this Wikipedia or not? Is this Wikipedia?
Yes.
What you're showing us right now?
So you're,
dude. This is not like a list.
TBS,
we have the ancient list, dude. I'm telling you that.
That's the thing.
TBS, give them a second to justify.
No, they're not. We have ancient lists.
You see how Breakfast Taco sticks up for him? The guy's showing me a Wikipedia list. He's trying to say, "Oh, I have the ancient list right here in my collection of books behind me that I pretend that I read." You know, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, they're somewhere here, but let me show you the Wikipedia list." Wikipedia, dude. That's what this guy's referencing. You know, he's trying to act like he's some scholarly, educated person on this subject. Absolutely insane. Anyway.
These are all
they are incomplete. No
PBS,
is complete. Not
I
one
need you to be
list.
respectful of Gnostic Informant's time.
You're being bad faith right now.
This
Dude's being bad faith.
Wikipedia, I'm not being Wikipedia is taking it's a speculative list that they just what they do is they take they're like from ancient times they have many lists, right? And none of those lists are complete. Because different kings, let's say you're a king and you want to make a list of the kings previous to you, right? You're going to remove the kings that are not kind of in your favorable to your dynasty or whatever. That's what they used to do. So none of the lists are complete. None of the and all other reasons too. Like the lists that we have are they're fragmentary. They're not complete lists, you know. So for Wikipedia, what they do, they kind of assemble a speculative, theoretical kind of timeline. They admit though that it's not complete, you know.
All right, we have information. 1 second, just 1 second,
information on these guys.
I need you to be respectful of Gnostic Informant. His time is valuable. I get you want him to provide evidence, and he's taking the time to go on there and provide evidence of the claim he's making. Please allow him to provide the justification for that before attacking him for it, just so that he can make his point, not be interrupted. Thank you. Sorry about that.
So Manetho, can you still see my screen right now? Yeah.
Yep.
Now these lists. I'm not going to sit here and say I know for a fact all these are perfectly attested, but I've read.
See what he's doing now. He's like, oh, I don't know for 100% a fact that they're all perfectly attested. Before he was just saying we have a complete list. He was saying that it's like he used it in the debate against Jay Dyer, and then he's using it on Taco Show, like trying to say complete list. Joseph's fiction, Joseph's made up, you know. And now even when I press him, he doesn't have the list. He shows me Wikipedia, and then he goes, well, I don't know if they're completely attested or what. We don't really know, like, you know.
Manetho has a list in the Vizier from every single dynasty.
They're not complete, dude. They're not complete.
Where are you getting that from?
By the way, no scholar thinks that these are complete lists.
Where are you getting that from? What scholar?
Name a scholar that does. Name a scholar that thinks these are complete lists.
Lester L. Grady.
Where do you think these lists come from?
He just names one. I'm supposed to believe that. It's not true. It's not. I don't know who he named. I don't care. If that guy, whatever he named, just said that they have a complete list, that guy's wrong 100%. And he shouldn't even be a scholar. It's ridiculous. It's ludicrous to try and say we have a complete list. And let me just show you. Let me just show you something, because he went to Wikipedia, right? He went to Wikipedia. So this is the Wikipedia list of pharaohs, Wikipedia, okay? And look what it says here. Look what it says in the Wikipedia reference that he was just showing them. Concerning ancient sources, Egyptologists and historians alike call for caution regarding their credibility, exactitude, and completeness. And many of which were written long after the reigns they report. An additional problem is the ancient king lists are often damaged, inconsistent with one another, and or selective. That's what I was saying. Like, they're selective in the sense that if I'm a pharaoh, I'm gonna include kings that are kind of favorable to my dynasty, and those that are like maybe embarrassing to me or whatever, or just oppose me or whatever, they'll just remove them, just take them out. Won't even keep them on the list. That's what they did. And so this is Wikipedia saying this, his own source saying that Wikipedia is his source, right? But he says that given the lack of sources, it's impossible to fix exact dates for the early dynasties. Okay. Now let me show you an actual scholarly source. This is the Metropolitan Museum in America, the Met. All right. This is high. Oh, wait. This is the Metropolitan Museum website. Okay. I don't know if you can see the you can't see. Anyway, I'll put the link for it in the chat right now. But the fact is, this is like high level scholarship right here. All right. So our knowledge of the succession of Egyptian kings is based on king lists kept by the ancient Egyptians themselves. Most famous are the Palermo stone, which covers the period from the earliest dynasties to the middle of Dynasty 5. The Abydos king list, which Seti I had carved on his temple at Abydos. And the Turin canon, a papyrus that covers the period from the earliest dynasties to the reign of Ramses II. All are incomplete or fragmentary. All of them are incomplete or fragmentary. We also rely on the history of Egypt written by Manetho in the 3rd century BC, a priest in the temple at Heliopolis. Manetho had access to many original sources, and it was he who divided the kings into the 30 dynasties we use today. Manetho is also like political, selective, and also not complete and fragmentary. Okay, that's clearly once again, we do not know. These are all fragmentary. It is the structure of dynasties and listed. It is this structure of dynasties and listed kings that we now attempt to link an absolute chronology of dates in terms of our own calendrical system. The process is made difficult by the fragmentary condition of the king lists and by differences in calendrical years used at various times. Okay? So they don't these scholars of the field, Egyptologists, etc., they do not attempt to say that, oh, we have the complete list and everything's all settled. They don't say that. People like Gnostic Informants says that because they want to try to pretend that they can deny the Bible, you know? But let me show you one more thing that this guy did. Oh, sorry, you guys. Sorry, my bad. I wasn't showing you this thing this time. Let me just switch. So this is what I wanted to show you. So
okay, there may be anything. You can just say whatever. You can fill the blanks in with whatever you want. There may be anything.
Look. Wait. You're trying to wait. You just went from you have a complete list of all the pharaohs and all the viziers to now admitting that they do not. No,
I never said we did not. I never said we do not.
I never said we did not. You see, he said first he said they had a complete list. Then he said, "Oh well, maybe some of them aren't fully attested, or we're not complete. We don't have a complete list, you know." And then yesterday on Derek, he said he admitted. He said, "I'm not saying we have a complete list." He literally said that, you know. So this guy's just all over the place. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's ridiculous. This is embarrassing.
Now, when did I say we do not have the list?
That's point of moderation. He has said multiple times we have a full list.
Yeah, I never said we don't have the list.
That's a ridiculous claim. That's an embarrassingly ridiculous claim. Okay, the fact that you're trying to stand on that right now is showing you.
You want me to pull up Barosis? I have a physical copy of him right here.
Okay, let's see.
He just showed you. I don't get it.
Oh, he showed me a list from Wikipedia, dude.
Which is sourced from ancient texts.
Oh, which is sourced from ancient texts, which Wikipedia explains in its own article that those sources are fragmentary, incomplete, and Egyptologists and historians tell us to be careful in how we read it and not to take everything for granted. Obviously, it's so obvious. Like if you just look at these, they're sometimes they're not even like fully there, you know, like they don't even have, the archaeologists found them inscribed on a wall or whatever. They don't have the whole list. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's part of it scratched off or whatever, right? That's how they find them. It's absurd to try to say there's a complete list of all of them. It's ludicrous to try to say this, you know. No scholar, no self-respecting scholar would stand on that. None. So, but I want to put this because he's saying we do have a complete list. We absolutely do. I didn't invent this. I didn't make this up. And on that right now, dude.
Now, when did I say we do
a list of all the pharaohs and all the viziers? To now admitting that they do not. No,
I never said we did not. I never said we do not.
Dude.
Now, when did I say we do not have the list?
That's point of moderation.
Well, I never said we don't have a complete list. I never said that.
He has said multiple times we have a full list.
Yeah.
Breakfast Tacos fully endorses this statement. Yes, he has said multiple times that we do have a full list. Okay, absolutely insane. Anyway, so let me show you in this newer show what he was saying, because I sent in a super chat. You know, this is my new way to get these guys. But I hate to have to donate to these guys, but I still send it because I just want to catch them making these claims. I want to catch them. Oh wait, I have to switch the thing. But anyway, I want to catch them making these claims. So you know,
these super chats I keep
coming in. Hey, we're happy with that too, though. I mean, at the end of the day, we can always do another one. Like tomorrow, you know, we can do another, and we could do more of these. So neither of you understand that Tyre prophecy.
Whatever. Everyone always says that. Come on, let's hear you tell us what it means.
Well, he'll tell you a ton of shit, dude. I know Toronto. Toronto just go on and on.
Do we have a list of the Egyptian pharaohs and their viziers? Yeah, we do. We have a few of them. We have Manetho, and we have papyri that has lists on it. So yeah, we do.
Toronto. I'll tell you this, Neil.
Like first of all, challenging them on their handling of this Tyre prophecy in Ezekiel chapter 26 or something. So that's my first challenge to them, right? But then he just ignores that and goes straight to the Tyre list. But he said it again. I'm asking, do we have a list of all Egyptian pharaohs and their viziers? That's my question. He says yes, we do. We have several. You know, let's hear this again.
Few of them. We have
on and on.
Do we have a list of the Egyptian pharaohs and their viziers? Yeah, we do.
We have a list of all Egyptian pharaohs and their viziers. That's what I said. All, right? And remember, on Breakfast Talk, he's fully saying we have a full list, complete list. Okay. So now I asked him, do we have a list of all the Egyptian pharaohs and their viziers? He says yes,
we do. We have a few.
Toronto just go on and on.
Do we have a list of the Egyptian pharaohs and their viziers? Yeah, we do. We have a few of them. We have Manetho, and we have papyri that has lists on it. So yeah, we do.
Toronto. I'll tell you this, Neil. Every time Toronto comes on, we always debate, okay? And even though I think he's wrong on almost everything we talk about, bro. Back.
No. Okay, so that was Derek yapping about me. That's okay. Me and Derek, I like Derek, but anyway, now this guy's gonna say now this thing, right? All right, so listen to this.
We'll cut off there.
All right, can I use the restroom real quick? Be right back. Go ahead if you want to take
and
Toronto.
I'll bring on Toronto BibleStudy. He was the first one here. So, by the way, we're going to be doing audio only for everybody. So, just so you guys know, because we're doing me and Derek are doing audio only.
I don't mind if Toronto, if you want, because I know who he is.
Yeah, but then everyone's going to want to be. Okay, we're just going to keep. We're going to stick to the script. We're sticking to the script.
Cool.
We can hear you, Toronto. We can hear you. No, we're doing one at a time, man. We're doing one at a time. So
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So okay. So I don't know. I wanted to ask you about the Tyre prophecy, but I also wanted to ask you about the visitor list. I thought you would do your research and find out that that's not true, like by now.
No, it is true.
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay, hold on. No one knows what you're talking about. No one knows what we're talking about. We have a list. We have lists, plural, of all the pharaohs from the first dynasty down to the last dynasty, and we have an almost complete list of who their vizier was.
No, so now he says we have a complete list of all the pharaohs, every single one, and also an almost complete list of the viziers. Now that the viziers list has already been reduced down to almost complete, right? But we remember previously it was not almost complete; it was complete. No, we don't. That's completely false. First of all, the list we have from ancient times, right? You're talking about the primary documents, right? The list we have from ancient times are incomplete. They're
I'm not saying they're complete. I'm not saying they're 100%.
I'm not saying they're complete. I'm not saying they're 100%. Well, no, you did. You did say that numerous times, and that's my whole point, you know? Yeah, you did say they're complete. You did say they're complete. That's my whole point.
There's a few, but they're mostly complete. Also,
the viziers now it's mostly complete. Now it's mostly complete, right? But I start focusing on the viziers. Viziers are the second in command people. They're definitely not complete. They're far from complete.
You want to see
the
list?
Close to complete.
You want to see the list?
Yes, I know. It's speculative, dude. It's very speculative.
It's not. Theoretical. He's dishonest. Get him out of here. Look, you're dishonest. You're lying. He's lying. I can't talk to dishonest people.
You're lying. You're lying. Who is lying here? Who is lying here? All I did was remember what he said. That's all I did. All I did was say, look, you said it was complete, and it's not complete, clearly. No one who knows anything about this field would say that this is complete. Okay? It's ridiculous to try to say that that's complete. And that's my whole point of this thing, what I'm saying here. Anyway. Wait, did I show you guys the Metro thing? Anyway. So now they kick me, and when I point out the vizier material is speculative, then that's when he kicked me, right? He doesn't say here, no, here's why you're mistaken. Here, let me show you why you're mistaken about the speculative nature of it or whatever. He says, no, you're dishonest, you're lying, and he kicks me. So this is what I want you guys to pay attention to, because this is what happens. He knows that he doesn't have the confidence in the rhetoric that he had on Breakfast Tacos. He knows that that's not true. But look what he does now. Look what he does after I'm gone. After I'm not there to hold his honesty, right?
All right, no Coiner, you're on. Get this guy out of here. You said this guy was good. He's not good at all. He's dishonest.
Look, I have dishonest. Fun.
He's lying.
I have fun with Toronto.
I can't stand people who just say shit on the fly because they think the audience, they can catch people in the. You're being dishonest. Here, let me show you the list right now.
See what he said? See, he said that about me, that I'm just saying things on the fly because I think I can catch the audience. That's what he does. That's his whole shtick. He's trying to act like that's me, you know?
List of viziers. And he's going to say, oh, this is Wikipedia. It doesn't matter. The Wikipedia page is sourced from papyri. I'll show you right now. Vizier in ancient Egypt. We have a whole list. The pharaohs and who.
This isn't even the pharaoh. I showed you the Wikipedia of the pharaoh list. He showed you the list of the Wikipedia of the viziers. The viziers is even less complete than the pharaohs. Because like I was telling you, in ancient times, they would keep these lists of the king list. We call it the king lists. All right. They have many examples of this. Okay. But what they don't have is lists of the viziers like that. What they do have is like some inscriptions on some walls and some tombs and other writings. Some here and there, they patch it together. They try to make a list. It's nowhere even close to as comprehensive as the king list, which we already know is fragmentary and selective and not necessarily complete. And then this vizier list is even less reliable, but he's showing you this Wikipedia thing. I'll show you in a second
who their viziers were. Now you can read beneath though. You can see the list in Manetho, or there's other papyri that people have brought together. Yeah. Now, I never said that we know for 100% sure who every single one is, but we do have like these ones right here in the 4th dynasty and on. The 1st dynasty gets really, really sketchy. At the closer to history you get, the better the picture gets. See, look at vizier. So when he said, we don't.
This guy thinks this is something completely. I'm trying to find this thing on Wikipedia right now. I have this. I have this thing, ancient. So this is like the actual. Oh, this is the list. This is the list. I wonder if that's the same list he was giving me. He was giving you guys before. Well, let's see. The vizier was the highest official in ancient Egypt. Excuse me. Viziers were appointed by the pharaohs. List of viziers. Anyway, this list is obviously not even close to as well. Like, I mean, I showed you already for the Met thing that they don't even have a proper list of all the pharaohs. Okay? Of the kings, the pharaohs, the important people. So less like the idea that they have a complete list of all the viziers is ridiculous. But once again, like I was saying to you, this is just like they patched it together. These are all like, look at all these like question marks here, all these question marks. That means they don't really know for sure. They don't know what's his real name, what pharaoh he was under. You see what I'm saying? They found this guy's tomb or something like that, and so they're like, "Oh, it says vizier. Okay, it's probably around the 25th dynasty." See, there's a question mark here. They don't know when it was. They don't know what pharaoh he was under. This is the pharaoh. This column is the pharaoh he was under. They have a question mark. They don't know. Okay. So the idea that they have a complete list and they know exactly every single one, and there's even this discussion about whether there was one vizier per pharaoh or two. Because some documents say that there was two viziers, one for Lower Egypt, one for Upper Egypt, and you know what I'm saying. So it's just ridiculous to try to say that there's a complete list of all these viziers. Is completely absurd. Okay. But that's what they do. They go from, he went from like saying, oh, we have a complete list.
Here in the 4th dynasty and on, the 1st dynasty gets really, really, or there's other papyri that, now you can read Manetho, you can see the list in Manetho, or there's other papyri that people have brought together. Yeah. Now, I never said that we know for 100% sure who every single one is.
See, I never said that we know for 100% sure who every single one is. That's what he's saying now. When he was debating J. Dyer, trying to say that Joseph was a myth, he was saying that. He was saying we have a complete list of all the pharaohs, all the viziers. That's what he was saying in his debate. Ever since then, he's calmed down from that, but then he went back up to saying it is complete. Then he came back down to saying, I never said we have a complete list. So he's just all over the place. And he's trying to say I'm lying and I'm dishonest,
But we do have like these ones right here in the 4th dynasty and on. The 1st dynasty gets really, really sketchy. At the closer to history you get, the better the picture gets. See, look at vizier. So when he said we don't, it's all speculative.
So look, and the other thing. Now he's saying the closer we come to modern history, the more recent, it's less speculative. It's more reliable information. Okay, whether that's true or not, I'll leave that up to you. But this is the thing: the information about Joseph is from the ancient period, and so that's more speculative. That's the whole point of my whole discussion here. The whole reason I was challenging him is that he's trying to say we have a complete list, therefore we know Joseph is a myth. And he's saying, well, back in the day it was more speculative, but now we have really good information. So it's just like this guy has no basis for what he's trying to claim about the Bible, about Joseph. No basis whatsoever. So that's why this matters. Like, somebody might say to me, who cares? Maybe he was just being imprecise, but that is exactly why it matters, because he was just tossing around these loose words in the debate with Jay Dyer and in the chat on Breakfast Tacos, and even here he was kind of trying to go on about how we have multiple lists and all this stuff. He's using that claim as an argument against the Bible. He's using the claim to dismiss Joseph as fictional. And he's using that claim with public certainty, like, oh, yeah, absolutely, 100%. He's got 250,000 subscribers, this guy. Okay? And then when he's pressed on whether or not the underlying tests are actually complete in the strong sense that he applied before, now he starts saying, well, I never said that we have complete lists. I never said we know 100%. You know? So this is not me nitpicking. This is me being careful, doing careful historical research, careful scholarship, and him failing to do that, and also pushing these ideas which are anti-Bible, etc., and pushing it to 250,000 people, right? And acting like he's what fully supported by the scholars, and acting like I'm a liar and I'm dishonest. Okay, so that's why this matters. What time is it? I know, it's on Wikipedia, bro. I know, exactly, you know? I know, absolute joke, bro. Absolute joke, dude. Jay Dyer's an ortho, bro. I know. So I don't support Jay Dyer either, obviously, but I mean, yeah, no, I do not support Jay Dyer or agree with Jay Dyer. I'm just saying, I like Jay Dyer, he's debating Jay Dyer on the Bible's accuracy, so it is significant for us, just the public statements being made here. I know, exactly. I know. It's hilarious, dude. Anyway, this guy got big. But anyway, so you know what? Let me show you. We have some time because I don't have to. I'm glad we finished up a little bit earlier than. Maybe I can show you this other thing, because earlier on, they were talking about this prophecy in Ezekiel. Let me just.
An interesting one that might.
Let me just say something real quick on this. And I want to hear your thoughts. Mm-hmm. Just think of how silly this is. The idea that there's a whole genre of Israelite prophets. I'm not saying they're all the same. They're all identical. They say different things. There are different forms of poetry in the prophets. I get that. I've read them all.
Right.
But what they all have in common is they're all predicting the destruction of Israel. They're all saying, woe to Israel, woe to the Ammonites, woe to the Philistines. Like, basically saying they're all going to get conquered by the Assyrians. They're all going to get conquered by the Babylonians. It's all going to happen. And then it happens. You even have in Jeremiah or Ezekiel, I'm sorry. In Ezekiel, it says that nations will trample.
So I don't know what he's saying. Like, he's saying that the prophets predicted the conquest by the Assyrians and the Babylonians, and then that happened. And I guess he's trying to say that means that it's not true. But then look, now he's going to talk about Ezekiel. This is like chapter 26 to 29, I think, or 26 to 28. And then he's going to talk about that.
Ezekiel, I'm sorry. In Ezekiel, it says that nations will trample on Tyre, the island city of Tyre, then they will take the dust from the land and put it in the water. This is exactly what Alexander the Great does.
So I read that.
That's written in the Hellenistic period.
I was going to ask you about this. That's exactly the passage.
See what he said? See what he said? Like, Ezekiel predicts the fall of Tyre, and he says that they're going to take the dust of Tyre and throw it into the sea. The dust and other stuff like that. He's going to throw it into the sea, or it's going to be thrown into the sea. And that's exactly what Alexander did. Alexander literally took the dirt because Tyre was a city on the coast, and also there was this island city that's really hard to attack the island city. So that's why they never been taken, the island city, right? So Alexander took the and Nebuchadnezzar, he took the city on the coast of the thing, but he was never able to take the island city, right? And then Alexander came along, took the coastal city, and he threw the dust and the things like dirt and stuff from the city, from the coast, and put it in the sea, made a bridge right over to the island city, and then he conquered the island city. Okay, and the Bible actually talks about how many nations will come against you, and they will take the dirt and throw it into the sea. And this guy's saying that's exactly what Alexander did. So therefore, it was written after Alexander did that, and it was written like talking about that period. You know what I'm saying? But it never says Alexander or the Greeks or anything. But he's just trying to say that because it's so accurate to the Alexander story, therefore it must have been written after him, because he just doesn't believe in prophecy, right? So that's his claim, right?
And put it in the water. It says that nations will trample on Tyre, the island city of Tyre, then they will take the dust from the land and put it in the water. This is exactly what Alexander the Great does.
So I read that.
That's written in the Hellenistic period.
I was going to ask you about this. That's exactly the passage I was going to talk to you about, because I'm not convinced. He says, this text says that it would be utterly desolate, that it would be down to the rocks. There'd be nothing remaining. But even under the Alexander the Great period, it wasn't eradicated down to the rocks. So I would like to see the text you're talking about, but do know.
I'll pull it up right now. Ezekiel 26. Ezekiel 26. Let me see.
I did a video on this. Did you see my video?
So now what Derek's saying is that it's a failed prophecy, okay? Because the prophecy says that they'll be taken down to the rocks and that they'll be never rebuilt again or something like that. And so he's saying, well, no, they were never really completely destroyed. The city kind of still remained there, and also they were kind of rebuilt, quote unquote. So therefore, it's a failed prophecy. All right. Now, my take on it is that yes, it actually predicts Nebuchadnezzar would destroy the place, turn it into like he'd take the city and destroy it, but then he couldn't take the other city. Then Alexander would come, scrape the dirt and the dust, throw it in the water, and take the other city. And what happens is, what it talks about is how they just be these fishermen, or it would be like a fishing village, or it would be like this place where they cast nets and stuff, right? Whereas Tyre was this rich city, it was a rich like trading port, and they were like this mighty city. That's why Ezekiel talks about how they're so full of pride. And then, but it says that they would be reduced down to just be fishermen, and that is what happened. That's literally what happened. And so when it says that they will not be rebuilt again, it's not saying that they'll never have a city again, but that they'll never be rebuilt to those heights of riches and wealth and being this amazing trade port that they were. They'll just be a bunch of villagers, and that is what they are to this day, you know? It's in like Libya today, I believe, but anyway.
Where I point out I recently dropped the most embarrassing failed prophecy in the Bible, where he makes a prediction. It doesn't happen.
Is a failed prophecy.
I think it failed.
No,
I do.
I don't think that makes any sense. I think what makes sense is this was written way later. They shall destroy the walls of Tyre and break down her towers, and I will scrape her soil from her and make her bare rock.
Right. That never happened.
Yes, it did.
Alexander the Great. It bare rock. It was not. It was still a thriving city even after Alexander the Great went in and conquered.
See how they have no method? They have no method. Bare rock. What does bare rock mean? Does it mean that there will not be any city there whatsoever? That it's just going to be completely gone? No, it's not what it's talking about. It's saying that they're going to literally scrape the dirt down to the bare rock, because they're using the dirt to make a bridge over to the coast, the island city. That's what Alexander did. That's what it's literally predicting Alexander. Okay, hundreds of years before him, right? And these guys are just like, oh well, da 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 da. And then Derek's trying to say, no, it's a failed prophecy because it was never bare rock. Well, it was bare rock. They're not trying to say that the whole city was destroyed. They're saying that they scraped the dirt down to the bare rock to make the bridge to go over to the island. You know,
they made a deal. There was no destruction.
In the Hellenistic period, the land was all ruins, and the city,
they did build a bridge. I know.
The city was on the island bridge part.
Right.
So this would have sounded like a fulfilled prophecy to someone living in the 200s BC.
Well, here's the reason why I think it's.
But let me finish this though. She shall be in the midst of the sea, a place for spreading nets. If you look at Tyre in the Hellenistic period, it was a fishing city.
Right.
So whoever.
That's right. That's what the prophecy is about. That's exactly what Ezekiel is saying. Okay. Now he's going to say that means that because he doesn't believe the prophecy is possible, he's just like, well, that means that they wrote it afterward in the period of after Alexander, in the Hellenistic period. Okay, that's what he's trying to say. And but there's no reason to believe that. Also, if that were the case, why wouldn't they just talk about Alexander? You know, talk about the Greeks or whatever. Like Daniel predicts the Greek thing. He talks about the king of Grecia. He talks about that aspect, right? But these guys are saying no. Why would they do that?
Whoever wrote this,
they continued doing that after.
I know. That's
obviously not during the siege, but
but Alexander literally took soil from the land, scraped the soil from the land, and brought it out to and made the bridge.
Yeah,
so it sounds like they're talking about Alexander here.
I wonder if we're reading too much into that, in my opinion, because if you go to chapter 29 in Ezekiel, he describes how he promised that they would be completely, utterly destroyed. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
So in the Bible itself,
so now what he's trying to say is that the completely, utterly destroyed means they have to be every single house has to be decimated. They can't have a single person there at all. That's not what the Bible's trying to say. Like it's just using that kind of hyperbolic language to explain that they're never going to be that great city that they were. They were like the greatest port city in the whole region for like 1,000 years, you know, or not that long, but they were like really powerful for a long time. Okay, and then they became like basically nothing, you know. And just like a fishing village, basically, like they're never rich like that again.
Prophet's prediction doesn't happen. 3 chapters later, he goes on to talk about it. Let me pull up the exact verse.
But that's what these prophets will do stuff like that, and they overplay their hands. So I think you're right. I think they were assuming that this place would be desolate, and they were wrong. Because you get like, okay, I am against you, Tyre, and I bring up many nations against you.
Right.
We know this happened. That happened. The Babylonians, the Assyrians sacked them. The Greeks sacked them. As the sea brings up its...
I don't think the Assyrians sacked them. I don't think that's true. I think he just made that up. But the Babylonians did, and the Greeks did for sure.
Waves, they shall destroy the walls of Tyre and break down her towers. And I will scrape her soil from her and make her bare rock. Right. This sounds like it's explaining what happened to Alexander and Tyre.
I see what you're saying. I'm not knocking that. In Ezekiel 29, 8 through 12, it talks about prophesying that Egypt will be utterly destroyed as well. I will make the land of Egypt a desolation and a waste, and that will be it will be uninhabited for 40 years. No human foot will pass through it. No animal foot. Egyptians will be scattered among the nations.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So what I think's going on here is I think they use legitimate history, and then what they do is this is what I think was going on with these prophets.
Look at their methods. They have no method. These guys have no method at all. This is not how you study this stuff. This is not how a responsible intellectual reads this information and makes like claims about our conclusions or whatever. It's just like they're just like speculating and just going back and forth, just yapping. You know, 500,000 subscribers or 250,000 subscribers. This guy, Derek's got 500,000. They're just like, well, I don't know. Maybe that. There's a yappery. They have no clue what they're talking about.
They're written later, and they're backdating themselves, and they're actually inserting things that actually happened, and then they're going beyond that to try to politically maybe scare, or maybe a taunt, or maybe like, and try to get people to think that, oh, you're going to be destroyed. You know what I mean? But here's the siege of Tyre right here. Yeah. Look at this.
Show the image. Yeah.
And which image?
The one right there in the upper right, just to show the bridge that Alexander then made. Right.
They took this city was completely destroyed, as the prophecy says. Alexander took a bunch of rock from this city and used it to construct a wall here. So the old city was literally put into the sea. All the ruins from it.
Right. Exactly.
Anyway, okay, so I guess last thing I want to show you guys is my email to this guy, just quickly, because just so you're aware that I did in fact send him an email. How can I do this now? I guess that's a. Okay, so I guess I have to make this bigger. Right. All right, this is my email. So debate topics, I was like, I sent him this email about what we should do, and he ignored it. This isn't the best screenshot, but whatever. Anyway, I sent him this the day after we talked about it on Breakfast Taco. I sent him this, and he just ignored it. So he said he would respond to me. He never did. So who's the liar? He said he would respond to me. He never did. Then he said, "Oh, whatever else he was saying,
Bring audio.
I don't mind if Toronto, if you want, because I know.
But I also wanted to ask you about the visitor list. I thought you would do your research and find out that that's not true. Like by now.
No, it is true.
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay, hold on. No one knows what you're talking about. No one knows what we're talking about. We have a list. We have lists, plural, of all the pharaohs from the first dynasty down to the last dynasty, and we have an almost complete list of who their vizier was.
So now it's all the pharaohs, right? All the pharaohs he's saying, and then an almost complete list of the viziers. But that's not what he said originally with J. Dyer. But he's changed the claim now when he gets pressed on it. No, we don't. That's completely false. First of all, the list we have from ancient times, right? You're talking about the primary documents, right? The list we have from ancient times are incomplete. They're
I'm not saying they're complete. I'm not saying they're 100%.
I'm not saying they're complete. I'm not saying they're 100%. Well, what are you talking about? You did. You repeatedly said that. Like, dude. Anyway, you did say they're complete. You did say they're complete. That's my whole point.
There's a few, but they're mostly.
And also, the viziers are definitely not complete. They're far from complete.
You want to see
the
list?
Close to complete.
You want to see the list?
Yes, I know. It's speculative, dude. It's very speculative.
It's not. Theoretical. He's dishonest. Get him out of here. Look, you're dishonest. You're lying. He's lying. I can't talk.
You're dishonest. He's lying. So the bottom line is that this is never about whether Neil's allowed to disagree with me. He's absolutely allowed to. Of course, he is. Okay, this is about whether you're allowed to make that kind of strong public claim that we have a complete list of the pharaohs and their viziers so that he can deny the Bible, say Joseph is just a myth or a lie or whatever. And then when he gets challenged on it, he softens his claim. Then when another person that he calls me dishonest for even just remembering what he said, right? So that's what happened here. The complete list becomes almost complete. Almost complete becomes close to complete. Then Wikipedia gets waved around like it solved the whole thing. And when I pointed out the shift, I'm called dishonest and removed. Okay? You can judge for yourselves. But this is not scholarship. This is bluff and then retreat and then attack. I know, eh? Hilarious. Yep. Thanks, Avo. Thanks for the support, brother. Watch the video on how Wikipedia is Walmart quality and how I should use Encyclopedia Britannica instead. Yeah, it is. Wikipedia is very Walmart quality. It's very low quality. But, I mean, it's not bad. Like, like I say, if you read the Wikipedia article, it actually explains to you that it's not complete, So it's actually, he's the one who doesn't get it. The Wikipedia article, remember we were looking at it? Let me just show you again. So the first Wikipedia we saw, well, I showed you the one that was the this is the list of the viziers, right? This is the one he was actually showing on Derek. So this one doesn't say they're chosen. Anyway, so they show, actually, this isn't the best article because they don't actually say how limited the information is, but they'll actually tell you as we come down here, you'll see all these question marks and stuff, See all the question marks? That's obviously not complete. But this isn't very good. Yeah, so the Wikipedia is really weak in this particular list because it should explain to you how these lists are very speculative. They don't really know all the viziers like this. And I was showing you before, I was showing you the other list of the pharaohs. The list of the pharaohs now, they literally tell you that no, we are absolutely, concerning ancient sources, given the lack of sources, it's impossible to fix exact dates for the early dynasties. And concerning ancient sources, Egyptologists and historians alike call for caution regarding their credibility, exactitude, and completeness. So here Wikipedia is actually telling you to be cautious about it. That's why Wikipedia is not bad. They're not bad. It's a good starting point. It's a good place to start your research. But what you want to do is look for the sources and then go to the sources, So given the lack of sources, it's impossible to fix exact dates for early dynasties. However, most authors give dates around 3,000 BC. And you can go check these books. You go down to the Wikipedia references. And this is a place where you can begin your research on many topics, because these references will help you. But these references are scholarly generally or whatever, not always. So be careful with these as well. But you can use these to learn more about the subject, Generally, Wikipedia will reject sources that are not scholarly or at least high quality. So generally, when you read a Wikipedia article and you look at the sources, these are generally pretty quality sources. You still have to take it with a grain of salt. I'm not telling you to believe whatever they say, but at least they're quality sources, That's all I would say about that. Anyway, so that was my thing about Mr. Gnostic Informant. Tried to say I was dishonest. What a joke. And yeah, well, we're gonna have a meetup in the a hangout in the Discord tonight, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please join us there if you have a chance. If you want to join the Discord, I gotta give you I actually removed the invitation from most of the invitations. So let me just put an invitation there. If you guys want to join the Discord today, you can join up the Discord and then join us for a hangout tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or whatever. Talk soon, bro. Yeah, talk to you then. All right, God bless everyone. Thanks for watching Toronto Bible Study. Wait, let me add my thing. Let me add my readout thing. Hallelujah.
Chapter 12. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish. A good man obtaineth favor of the Lord, but a man of wicked devices will he condemn. A man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is as rottenness in his bones. The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit. The words of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. The wicked are overthrown and are not, but the house of the righteous shall stand. A man shall be commended according to his wisdom, but he that is of a perverse heart shall be despised. He that is despised and hath a servant is better than he that honoureth himself and lacketh bread. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. He that tilleth his land shall be satisfied with bread, but he that followeth vain persons is void of understanding. The wicked desireth the net of evil men, but the root of the righteous yieldeth fruit. The wicked is snared by the transgression of his lips, but the just shall come out of trouble. A man shall be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the recompense of a man's hands shall be rendered unto him. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. A fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. He that speaketh truth showeth forth righteousness, but a false witness deceit. There is that speaketh like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health. The lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Deceit is in the heart of them that imagine evil, but to the counselors of peace is joy. There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief. Lying lips are abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. A prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be unto tribute. Heaviness in the heart of man maketh it stoop, but a good word maketh it glad. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. The slothful man roasteth not that which he took in hunting, but the substance of a diligent man is precious. In the way of righteousness is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death.